Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Parents, where family travel is possible, memorable, and sometimes messy.
We're best friends, seasoned travelers, and moms who took our kids around the world before they could walk. Now they're toddlers, and the adventure continues.
From destination ideas to survival tips, we're bringing you along as our kids and our journeys grow.
Buckle up, we're taking off.
Hi, mamas. I'm your co-host, Zoe, and I'm here alongside my best friend,
Desiree, hey guys.
We've been friends since high school, and ever since then, we've developed a love for travel. And now, as moms to toddlers, we want to continue our adventures with kids.
Yeah. And hey guys, we created this podcast because we really want to give you guys insight into our lives. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about real experiences, especially when it comes to traveling with kids, which can be challenging at times, but so fun. And that's essentially what we want to highlight along the way, that you should keep traveling even after you have kids.
And we're here to inspire other moms who have that travel urge and don't want to stop. But really, for anyone, you're bored in the car, you just want to listen, have some good laughs at our horrible experiences. We're here to help you with
And
that
good ones too. Good ones too.
too.
Yeah, and I think you guys will gain a lot out of this, hopefully. Again, as Zoe mentioned, you're going to hear, the fun. You're going to hear some not so fun stories. But again, these are real kid travel experiences. Along the way, we're also going to offer recommendations, destination inspirations, and so much more.
So be sure to stay tuned. We have episodes dropping every Friday. We know life is busy, so mamas, you can listen on the go, whether you're in the car line, you're going for a run, a walk, doing dishes, whatever. Life is busy, so we get that. But be sure check in our show notes. You can follow us on Instagram, on the travel blog website. I'll put all those down below, and be sure to subscribe to our show. We're excited you're here.
Absolutely. Yes. Zoe, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I know you pretty well, but I'm sure our listeners would love to get to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Massachusetts and I moved down to Florida my junior year of high school where I met Desiree. And I have a pretty large family. There is 8 of us children. So you can imagine we didn't travel very much, and I didn't even know anything about the world or traveling. Like, literally, it was our little bubble. We might have done some couple road trips to, like, Florida growing up, but it wasn't anything crazy. My family was pretty busy, and we didn't have that privilege to travel, like, we do now. But now I am what's called an anesthesiologist assistant. So I, put patients to sleep for a living. It's awesome. I get to work a lot with kids, which I really love. And especially now being a mom, I feel like I can connect and take care of my patients a little bit better. But my husband, he's also in anesthesia as well. So we have the luxury of being able to take quite a bit of vacation weeks throughout the year, which is awesome. And this is pretty much how I've even found travel, was working with other anesthetists who, they had all this PTO and they, had a good income. So I really got to see some of the places they were going. I'm like, man, that is so cool. Like, I want that lifestyle too.
Yeah.
So I took my first big trip with my husband now, Greg, and we did the 3-week Europe tour, and it was amazing. We had a blast. Like, we got to visit Spain, and we got engaged in front of the Eiffel Tower, and we went to Switzerland and got to check out a lot of coastal towns in Italy, and I just fell in love. Like, everything about the culture to just like relaxing.
Scenery.
The scenery, everything. Like, you
Yeah.
just don't think about anything when you're there, and I love that so much. And now, I have 2 wonderful children, Maya, who is 5 years old, about to start kindergarten, and Luna is 3 years old, and they're so full of life and adventure, and they love travel. They talk about Faroe Islands on a weekly basis. It's like their dream
That's
trip.
awesome.
I don't know why they have so many memories from it, but but yeah, they love it as much as I do, and I think just getting kids out and to see what else is out there in the world, I think, is very important.
Yeah.
And also on the side, right before we had Maya, probably like 2019, my husband and I actually started a travel blog, Anesthesia for Adventure. Post that in the show notes. But we started posting recommendations, destination inspiration when we were traveling as a couple. And now, I sometimes find it hard to find any type of adventurous travel tips, with kids. So I found it very useful to be sharing some of those experiences with other parents. And, hopefully we can share a lot more here, especially with the moms who have any questions in a little bit more depth.
Yeah, no, definitely a good resource. And also, it's so funny because I feel like I know you so well. Obviously, we've known each other for more than 15 years. And it's so funny. Like, there are certain things I just learned. Like, I didn't realize that your passion for traveling came from, some of your coworkers and peers. So that's actually really fun.
Yeah, it is. I had no idea. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about travel. I was not like the kid in our family that ever wanted to leave the country. I didn't know. So,
Yeah. Well, and look at you now. It's crazy. And you guys are going to get to know Zoe so much more along the way. She's been to like the most exotic places. So hopefully this is really fun for you guys to tune into and learn more about. But I do have some questions for you that, again, I do know you pretty well, but, I'm just curious to learn more. Okay. So if you could go back to any of the places you've been to, where would you go? Could be pre-kids or post-kids, your call.
So, pre-kids, we actually did a safari honeymoon. So, we went to
So cool.
Africa. It was incredible, and it's one of those experiences, not a lot of people get, so I feel very fortunate. And it's the one continent, I guess I should say, that, we have not been with the kids yet, so we are very excited for that trip. I just I wanna wait till they're a little bit older
Yeah,
because, 1, it's a super expensive trip, 2, you're
right.
out in the safari for hours, right? So, I want them to be able to enjoy it, remember it, and also, you don't wanna put all that effort and, resources into a trip where you have to turn back around, sometimes. I think they'll be fine, but you never know. So I think we're gonna wait for that for a few years, but I would love to go back. I just felt a deep connection to all the staff, that we met there along the way, and some of the other families we met too. It's just such a unique experience. I think if anyone has a chance to ever do in their life, they really should.
Yeah, that's definitely very high on my bucket list, but like you, I definitely wanna wait until Christian, my son, is a little bit older. What do you think the sweet spot for a safari trip is? Like, did you see any other kids, while there? And were you like, "Ah, yes, when my kid is, I don't know, 15, I wanna bring him here." Like, what were your thoughts then?
I feel like we saw one family with maybe like teenagers. Our hotel was a little bit more, romantic, I guess you could say. It was our honeymoon. So we definitely picked something that was not like as family friendly. But I think you could definitely go around like 8, I would say. I spoke to one of the surgeons I work with. He's from Kenya, and he said that 8 is a pretty good age to take them to.
That's good to know. Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
I do have more questions. So, as a mom, obviously, we know traveling can be very challenging. So, in your opinion, what was one of the most challenging trips you've ever taken? And if you could change anything about it, like what would you change?
Most challenging, I would say any trip where you're in the car for a long time,
Yeah, for
it can
sure.
be tough. So, that's tough because I feel like the girls have actually done very well on most of the trips. But maybe what, I would okay, the most challenging time of travel that I remember is we went to Hawaii with Maya when she was, like, 6 months old, and that 10-hour daytime flight, I just remember was kind of a pain. We like to do the overnight flights. Everyone, for the most part, sleeps for a while. So just alternating with her back and forth, for 10 hours during the day was a lot. She just didn't sleep great on that flight, but for the most part, I mean, they've both been very easy, and usually that's an easy age to travel. I would just recommend doing a red-eye flight if you can. On the way back, I think we had
Hmm.
an overnight flight, which is nice, but once we got there, it was fine, but we really try if we're doing any long drives, we've really only done that with camper vans. Anything more than 2 or 3 hours, I feel like toddlers just get really restless, and
Yeah.
it's not. really fun for anyone. So they had the camper van, we can pull off. I know it's probably not ideal, but sometimes we just let them sit in the back if it's like a very safe, you know, flat road, not dangerous. They'll just kind of chill in the back or take a nap, which makes it a lot simpler.
Yeah, for sure. For some reason, I thought you were going to say New Zealand or Japan or somewhere that took a little bit longer. Not like Hawaii is a short trip by any means, at least for us Floridians. But gosh, those other trips can be so long and like so many layovers but interesting. No, I hear you on that. And I do agree on the road trip comment. 2 to 3 hours is definitely the most I can do with my child. Otherwise, it can be a little bit obnoxious. So,
Yeah, I mean, I get anxious after more than a couple hours in the car, so I can only imagine
yeah.
how toddlers who have all this energy balled up, just sitting in a car seat. Just it
Mhm.
doesn't sound it's not fun to me.
Yep. I hear you. Okay, so you talked about being in the anesthesia industry or sector. So, talk to me a little bit about the flexibility you have with your job and travel. I think a lot of us are very curious on that.
So anesthesia is kind of an interesting field. I wouldn't say it's very well known. Like people know about it, but they don't really know, especially for anesthesiologist assistants and CRNAs. We have a very flexible career. So, I mean, you can be employed by a hospital and you don't really have too much flexibility in terms of your schedule. Like you can kind of pick the hours, but you can't really just like say, "Oh, I want to take this day off and that day off." But you do get a lot of PTO, so our vacation time is great. At minimum, I've seen 5 weeks. I would say the average is probably 7 weeks vacation time. And with me, I actually am self-employed, and Greg, my husband, he does, like, travel assignments, so technically he's self-employed as well. So we can give any dates off that we want. Obviously, vacationing costs money, so we can't take endless amounts of PTO time, unfortunately, but we are able to take, as much time as we want off, or even just with school. Like if I need to take a day off because there's a Christmas event coming up, like I can take a random Friday off in advance. So we're very fortunate to have that flexibility, the amount of PTO that we have that a lot of careers do not have.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right about that. Okay, and if you could go I know you had mentioned you would definitely wanna bring the girls back to Africa, but if you could go to a brand new place in the world or city, um, where would you go? Where would you wanna bring your family?
So my absolute bucket list is Antarctica. It's the one continent I have left, so I am stoked for that. I'm hoping I can do it for my 40th birthday. We'll see. I'm a little nervous about going through Drake's Passage,
Yeah.
and seasickness is a real thing, so I don't know if we would fly or do a cruise, ideally a cruise if I can get
I
over
was
that
gonna
fear.
say, have you seen how people do the cold plunges on the cruises to Antarctica? It looks so cool.
Yes, it's awesome. It just
Yeah,
looks like such an incredible experience, and I don't wanna just fly there and go for a couple hours and then leave either, so I'd
right.
like to do the cruise, so we'll see.
Yeah. No, that'd be so fun. Awesome. Well, keep us posted on that.
Absolutely. So I actually would love to hear a little bit more about your background as well. Thanks for taking the time to listen to mine. So, I've known you since high school too, but always new things to learn, and I think our listeners would love to hear a little bit about you.
Yeah. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Desiree again. I was actually born in Venezuela. I lived there until I was 11. And I'm not sure if you guys are well aware of the geopolitical issues happening. I feel like Venezuela's on the news all the time now. But nonetheless, living there, it was actually a peaceful time back in the day. And through that time, I got a chance to travel a lot through the Caribbean islands, specifically the ABC Islands, because they're so close to Venezuela. So I would say that my passion for traveling actually originated from that time frame. But I definitely think I became more of an adventure seeker once I turned 18 and I went to Europe. A funny story, Zoe does know this story pretty well, but my dad was a big proponent of me, seeing Europe and getting to explore that side of the world. And so he convinced a girlfriend of mine to go with me. And 6 weeks before the trip, she bailed. So it was a total
Bitch.
bummer. I know. I know. It was horrible. I was so sad and bummed. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna cancel my trip. I gotta go. And so I packed my bags and I went out there and I got a chance to meet so many cool people. I did it through this travel agency called Contiki. I think they're really popular in Europe, especially. But I got a chance to meet people from Australia, the United States, Mexico, some people from the UK as well. So, really great experience from that perspective. And then shortly after that, I went away to school. I went to LSU, go Tigers. I actually met my husband there in a random agriculture class. He had actually never traveled outside of the United States. So I definitely pushed him to see more of the world. So we definitely got a chance to travel a little bit after we got married, and we also got a chance to travel through the United States, especially for work. We lived in North Carolina for a little bit and Louisiana for a little bit as well. And since then, I have been, working in marketing. I love building relationships and fostering those relationships with clients. And most importantly, I've become a mom. I have a little 5-year-old boy, and I have definitely gotten him exposed to traveling and seeing the world, and he loves it so far. So, yeah, I would say the last 5 years of my life have been the most fulfilling for sure.
Thank you for sharing all of that. You've been to some incredible places yourself, and I'm excited to see where you start taking little Christian. So,
I know.
I actually have a couple questions too.
Okay,
How would
shoot.
you say that travel has changed since you've had Christian?
Uh, Definitely in a lot of ways. I think first thing would be, traveling and going to really cool places and wanting to stay out, right? Like that really doesn't happen much anymore. We definitely have to stick to like a night routine of some sort, and we have to make it back by a certain time. And unfortunately, like I mentioned, my son is 5. I can't really leave him by himself just yet. So that's definitely like the biggest challenge when we do travel. If we're not traveling with family, we definitely have to, fortunately go to bed early as a family, but it does allow us to, be awake at an earlier time and see more. So there's that highlight, I would say. And I think traveling with things, man, like I used to be like so simple in my ways, I used to just travel with a carry-on, and now it's like a stroller, a car seat, like all the things. And it's definitely getting easier as he gets older. But when I think back when he was, an infant, gosh, all the crap that we carried. So annoying. I mean, you're still kind of going through that yourself, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, wouldn't you say?
100%, 100%. The packing game, like, we were the
Oh,
same with
man.
carry-ons, and
Yeah.
and we still try to pack the least amount as possible, and it's like you said, it's getting better as the kids get older, but yeah, I'm trying to find tips and tricks to minimize is, challenging. We are no longer traveling car seat people, though. Nope, no
Really?
way. No, we
Oh,
rent.
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
lugging that around anymore.
Well, you know that at least you can check that for free at no cost, no matter the airline. I mean, there's Spirit and Frontier, and those can be pretty expensive to check luggage, but really nice that you can check strollers and car seats for no fee at all. But
It
still, you're
is.
right. You still have to pick it up and put it in the car, and it's a dilemma.
Absolutely, yeah. We've never been we usually carry the girls a lot, so we've never really been
Yeah.
stroller people, but yeah, it is nice that you have those for free. Like, we've even checked in hiking carriers for free, which is really incredible, so
Oh, that's cool. I see it. I didn't know about that. Good tip. All
But yeah, I
right.
also agree with the bedtime routines and all that. You're kinda paying for it if you stay up late, but it is nice to be up
Right.
early, so I understand that as well.
Yeah.
That's a big proponent too.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Okay. Next question. Where is your favorite place in the world and why?
Um, this is a hard question because I feel like I've been to so many cool places and they're all so different, right? Top of mind, I would say is Hawaii. Like we absolutely love Hawaii. We went there for our honeymoon and then we just brought our son there in December. so about 4 months ago, and we just had the best time. And Hawaii is so different too, right? Like, you have all these different islands and different climates within. So I think it's definitely a very fun place to go to with children. But I would say pre-children, my husband and I really enjoyed going to Peru. We hiked through Machu Picchu. We took the train from Cusco to Machu Picchu, and it was just such a blast. And just the people are so nice, and the food is so great. So yeah, those are just two of my favorite spots. But again, it's hard to pinpoint because there's so many cool places in the world.
Absolutely, each one has its own special uniqueness, but Peru looks amazing, we haven't been yet, but altitude sickness is a real thing, so it's
It is.
understandable putting it off with little ones.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We definitely had to have some of that, I don't wanna say it's like cocaine because it's not, but it's like it comes from the cocaine leaf.
Oh, like the cocoa leaves?
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm not promoting cocaine whatsoever, I swear, guys. But we had to have a lot of that tea while up there because, yeah, the altitude sickness was pretty rough.
I have a question about that, can kids drink that?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I would not give it to them just to be safe. I
Okay.
actually so funny you bring that up. They sell all like cocaine leaf. Okay, that's not what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But they sell like souvenirs, candies, teas, like you name it, right? They have that everywhere in Peru. And so I brought some of that candy back to my coworkers and I was like, "All right guys, here you go." And they were all looking at me like I was crazy, like I was a drug dealer. They're like, "I don't think you should be giving this to us." And I was like, "You're not going to get high from this, I promise."
Just help your headaches.
It will just help your headaches, guys, I swear.
That's a good point, though, I don't know, I would like to find out more information about that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Maybe we can make an episode about it.
Yeah, one of us will go, and then we can come back with
Exactly.
some stories.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, where is your ultimate bucket list destination?
Um, okay, well, I would say I have 2. I definitely want to do Turkey, and then I also want to explore on the other end something completely different. I definitely wanna see Japan. Those 2 are really high on my bucket list, and Turkey, I definitely wanna, get a chance to go on a hot air balloon ride. I just think, like, the Middle Eastern, culture is so interesting and, their teas, just their beautiful Turkish lamps, like, everything just seems so magical about, that area, and then, same with Japan, I just think it's, like, a more mellow culture, very peaceful. So, yeah, those 2 are really high on my bucket list.
2 amazing places. We've been to Japan, definitely a culture shock in a good way,
Yeah.
so that is should be on anyone's bucket list with kids. It's a very family-friendly place, and Turkey looks incredible. We are waiting to do that until the kids are 6 because apparently they can't ride in the hot air balloons, so
Okay, which is crazy, I just learned that too, that's insane. But it makes sense, right? Like, I think you were talking about how, like, you actually need to be able to see past the basket, right? So,
Yeah, and you
you do
can't be,
want
like,
the
holding kids.
right, exactly. So, it makes sense.
Fall off the edge.
Yeah, yeah, it's a safety issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what trip is next?
Yeah, so we are gonna be going to North Carolina for spring break. It is coming up here in Florida. Very excited for it. We go out there pretty often. So we go trout fishing, we go canoeing, we go biking a lot. My husband loves to mountain bike, so he'll get a chance to do that. I'm not that great at it, so I'm more into like the flat trails. But nonetheless, my son loves it. He loves his latest thing has been salamander hunting. I can't speak. Um, but it's so fun just watching him be such a little adventure and yeah, we're looking forward to that. But I would say like actually my next big trip is going to be Japan. We are planning on going to Tokyo and Kyoto and I think Osaka, but I'm definitely going to need recommendations from you because I know you've been. We're going in November for Thanksgiving and we can't wait. We're so excited.
No way, that's amazing. You guys are gonna have the best time ever. We'll definitely have to give you some
Thanks.
trips, but Japan is a special place. I'm super excited about that.
Oh my gosh, me too. You know what? We're gonna have to do an episode solely on Japan for sure.
100%. I got you.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
We'll prepare everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you for all that insight, and it's great to learn some new things about you, and I know you guys love North Carolina too, so that trip sounds amazing as well. Get out of the, heat for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, right?
So well, it was so great to kinda explain, our backgrounds, and hopefully you guys have been able to kinda grasp who we are a little bit as you learn about our lives and stories to come. So, just a little recap, what to expect from the show. Like we've said, travel tips, destination inspiration. We'll share some of the places we've been, what we loved, what we didn't love, what we think you need to know. Any packing advice, like we kind of talked about earlier. Packing for babies is very different, packing with toddlers and small
Mhm.
children. And then some embarrassing moments from travel coming up too. Relatable mom struggles, all
There
of
are
the above.
so many, so get ready.
And hopefully we can prepare you so you don't have to experience this. But it's part of it, it's part of the fun. Makes for good stories.
Yep. And guys, if you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on social media. Zoe has an awesome travel blog, so make sure to check that out. And there will be more details in the notes, so make sure to check those out.
Absolutely. And next week's episode, prepare for sex on vacation. Whoop, whoop.
That's going to be such a spicy one. I can't wait.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Ow, ow! I love it. Guys, I do want to call out no specific details will be mentioned on this podcast, but hopefully you guys can all relate to it. And yeah, just have fun with us along the way.
Absolutely. And we look forward to hearing any questions in the future and follow us. Prepare for
Yeah.
next week.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.